Hey everyone, welcome to this video. This is actually a very different video compared to what I don't normally do for the channel, but this was a interview between me and Mr. President of the Waking a Rebellion mod team, and I thought it was pretty cool, and so here it is in all its glory, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye everyone, have a good day. What do you, what do you do outside of modding for in regards like maybe school work? Like what do you do? I guess.
So I am a business student. I'm going to be getting a business management degree as well as in economics certification.
Oh, cool. All right. What do you do for fund your school? I guess. What do you do for that?
Well, I am technically under an NDA not to disclose exactly where I work, but I can say that I work for a big tech company.
Okay, very cool. Okay. Let's see. All right. So what do you do in your spare time for fun?
In my spare time for fun, well, I don't really have much of that spare time anymore. Between work, school, modding, I rarely ever do like real life stuff. It's just been working out, making sure that I stay a buff boy.
You gotta keep those gains. Those are very important. Let's see here. So I guess what got you into modding? I guess actually to that, have you modded anything else? Have you like worked on anything else?
I mean, I worked on some like personal projects that my friends have done before. What got me into modding was actually playing Awakening of the Rebellion, because I am coming from the perspective of I was a fan, then I became a tester, and then I had my audio development skills, which Bullet found useful, and he brought me onto the team.
Very cool. And so I guess to that, Bullet, he's the head honcho, right?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Let's see. And I guess what makes you keep working on Awakening of the Rebellion?
It's really fun because especially since with this last update where I've been doing a lot of designing, it's kind of really cool when you see your concepts kind of come to life, and especially because I'm coming at any sort of development that I do from the perspective of a player.
Okay.
Of how does this affect gameplay? What is it going to do for the experience, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I think we've been seeing a massive improvement in our gameplay recently.
It is. I will say, for personally playing the new campaign, I know I kind of still screw around a little bit, but I do really. There is a big difference to it. It's the ground battles, especially. I know that was the big reveal on this last one. They have definitely they feel a lot more. I guess intense. I'd say there's a lot more things happening.
It feels like a real RTS.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, they I can't even remember what they used to be anymore. I only know currently. Let's see here. What was this one? Oh yeah, I guess so. You're the lead audio engineer. So I guess I'm wondering, how do you work with everyone else on the mod, and how do they work with you? Is there any like overlap to that, or do you all just like have kind of like a set task and you just go right into that and put it together at the end of the day?
So we're pretty specialized, and let's kind of break it down into, we have like the code people, which are kind of like the glue that sticks all the pieces together.
Okay.
We have the art department, we have animations, we have audio, and then we kind of have like our general game design and things like that. So what'll happen is art and audio people, they just kind of do their thing and create, and then do as much as they can, stick this into the game. The code people is what makes the framework that the audio or art goes into. Like when you have a model, it gets rigged up, it gets textured and everything like that, but its health, its shields, it's all of its stats and whatnot, that's done by the code people. But it has to fit into our design framework, which is something that we usually agree on at the beginning of every update cycle. So this way we have a solid plan.
Okay, so you have like a kind of like an end goal kind of deal, right? Just
Kind of, sort of. We have a lot of scope creep, and I mean like a lot of scope creep.
and what I
But
guess what is scope creep, just for people watching and whatnot?
Basically, the scope of the update is everything that we have planned. Scope creep is when unplanned things make their way
Mm,
into the update,
okay, all
and
right, yeah.
most of the time it's from us going like, okay, we have this, but if we also added this, it would make it so much cooler,
Hmm.
which it does, but
Yeah.
then it also, adds more time to the update cycle.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, I understand that though. Like you're working on something, but and that happens all the time too. Is like you're working on something, and then suddenly you're like, well, what if I add that? And that would make it better, but yeah, it makes the time kind of get a little bit long. But it shows in your work. It definitely does.
Well, we became pretty antsy to get this ground combat update out,
Hmm.
so to the point where we didn't do a lot of things that were planned.
Okay.
We kind of got like the general framework of it down,
Yeah.
and then said, okay, let's refine that and get it out there.
Well, it's exciting. I understand. I get that. So, um, let's see here. Oh, I guess, and then I'm fairly certain I know the answer to this one. But has there been any times where you have just like you've been working on it, like whatever you're doing, and you're just like you want to like scream because it's just like something's not working, or has anyone else like on the team had that happen? Where it's
Yeah,
just.
we kind of all have had that happen in all of our respective areas.
Mhm.
And that just has to do with Empire at War is a very, very finicky platform to work on. So a lot of things that should work don't. And then you have to spend a lot of time developing workarounds. That part specifically mostly applies to the coding people, so Bullet and Maxim.
Mhm.
Um, Things on my end have to do with I can make a sound. It can be as loud as ever. Put it into the game, and it's super super quiet. And there was no volume tag, no nothing like that, nothing that would inhibit it from being so quiet. And then I have to go looking through code to try and find what this is. Finally figure it out, and then it turns out that I boosted the sound way too much to compensate that. So then I have to go back and redo the sound, and
Mhm.
then blah 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 blah, and then I have to put in volume tags to limit everything. And the only way I can test this is to boot up the game and use that sound a whole bunch to
Mhm.
see kind of how it fits.
Okay.
So
All right.
it become like, if I don't get it right the first time, correcting things is a very very long process, and I'm not a dude that has a lot of time.
Mhm. I can see that that happening there. But also, if you have to boot up the game every single time, that takes a. So I'm assuming you can't have it open and then, um, mess around in the files. You have to constantly shut out and go back in, right?
Yeah, and then with all the debug stuff, and then as well as I have a custom set of shaders, I could give those to you if you want. Makes the game just look a little bit better.
Oh, okay.
Um,
I
with
appreciate
all
that.
that, it increases my load time like a lot.
Hmm. All right. But I could see that here. And this is another one. I guess on the Discord, I kind of I've seen a little bit of, and I guess I'm just wondering. I guess how do you handle people who are I guess pressing for information about the mod when they're not supposed to know? Like they're just like constantly on it. I guess is
Depends
there?
on my mood.
Okay.
I like to mess with people a lot,
All right.
as
All
you've
right.
probably seen.
Do you guys drop some? Well, I'm assuming you probably drop a couple teasers here and there, right?
Constantly.
Yep.
Um, Especially if it's me and Maxim. If you see like prolonged exchanges between us going on publicly,
Hmm.
it's like 99% of the time we're teasing the public.
Nice. Got the insider scoop now. Um, let's see here. Uh, oh yeah. So I guess in addition, so just for like, I know you're modding this on your spare time, and actually I actually was doing like a gaming magazine for my because I'm a broadcast major or communications major for for mine, and one of our projects was like a gaming magazine, and I had chose modding, and something I learned from it is that you guys don't necessarily this is more of a hobby than you actually want to turn it into a actual job, I guess. And so like I'm just asking, outside of creating this mod or helping out with it, do you plan on using what you learned here for anything outside of it, or do you just want to keep it kind of like your own special thing that you do in your off time?
Some of the skills, not like the modding and audio engineering stuff, but more of like the community interaction and like project management and that kind of stuff kind of can carry over into my actual job.
Okay.
The fun part for me is two of the people I report to actually play AOTR, and I think one of them's on the Discord, so I've been a little bit more careful of what I say.
Yeah.
But they kind of understand the magnitude of this project, and it helped me get a promotion a little bit, just because they know that I've had these skills for a long time.
Very cool. That's good to have. Oh gosh, I forgot to put it. Okay, so then this is like the last one for, I guess, like more of the personal kinds. But what is your favorite color?
Favorite color is green.
Green. Okay, green's good. See, that was my color for the longest time, and then I switched to purple. But green's cool. Any deep reasoning behind that, or just do you think it's cool?
I mean, the biggest reason is something that I can't publicly say.
Okay. All right.
The second biggest reason is green. That's the color of cash, bro. Like, who doesn't love cash?
Cash money. It's fantastic. I like money too. All right. So, and then I guess for my questions for like the actual mod here, they're kind of limited for what I'm reading over, but we'll get over them. I guess, so first one, what is your, I guess, favorite, if you had to choose, like, the faction that you've been working on the most, even if it's a minor faction, like those, like, business sectors up in the north, or, like, the hut space or something, what is your favorite faction, like, of the mod?
So, when it comes to my favorite to actually play as, it is going to be the Empire.
Okay.
But when it comes to, like, complexity and gameplay and that kind of stuff, I think it's best as Black Sun.
Sun, okay. Yeah, playing the Black Sun currently. I know I'm kind of doing a ham-fisted kind of way. I'm pretty much just pounding my fleets into everybody, but I know there's a lot more intricacies into that. But yeah, I'm very Imperial. You're right. Yeah, these last couple episodes, I have a couple coming out here, and it's things happen that are good, but also things that happen are very, very terrible. Since pending. That's cool. Let's see here. And I guess to the Black Sun, because I guess for my own information, I guess, how can you use, like, what are they called? The saboteurs, I believe. Like, they're the red dudes. I know that much. Do they have, I haven't actually tested them out. That's my own fault. Like, what can they actually do, I guess? Is it worth investing in those? I guess that's something I have.
You are making a massive mistake by not investing in those.
Okay.
The Black Sun kind of needs those to stay alive.
Oh, shit.
Because what's going to happen is, like, there's a whole bunch of different corruption types.
Mm-hmm.
The most basic one is Black Sun Presence, and that one is going to allow you to bypass systems. So I think in your campaign you have like a Weequay mercenary or something like that at Kashyyyk.
I have not used them yet. Okay.
If you wanted to get those troops out of there, you can do that actually pretty easily. You just need to corrupt your way back to friendly space.
Okay. Does that take money at all?
It does cost a little bit of money, but it's not very expensive.
Okay.
But other types of corruption, like racketeering, can help you make a lot of money. In my Black Sun campaign that I did as kind of a test, not that right before release, I was raking in about 12K a week by week 12.
Oh my god.
So the Black Sun has a lot of ways to make a lot of money very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
They're just a little bit unorthodox, so they're not always going to come from building buildings.
Yeah, it's not straightforward. Okay. All right. I guess, what was it? to that. So are they're kind of equivalent, like those, like at least yeah, just like the racketeering, is that somewhat equivalent to like the rebels? I forget what they're called. Oh, they have like a smuggler or whatever the dude is that he can go out and he collects money from, like for instance, like an imperial system. Is that similar?
In a way, yeah,
Okay, all right.
where it
Well,
siphons some of the planet income.
yeah, okay. I'll have to check that out then, because I think I'm getting like maybe I think it's like 2,800 credits per week now, and I'm on week like 15 or something. It's
At
fantastic.
your loss rate, I'm wondering if you've lost your campaign. I don't think you're quite at that point yet, but there eventually what will happen is you're going to hit a point of no return,
Hmm.
and by that I mean when the Empire says, "Hey, you need to die now,"
Hmm.
you will
You
die
will
now.
die. You've got, because now there's those rampage fleets I've been hearing all about. I haven't really hit one yet, but I'm awaiting that point.
So in Shaq's video about the rampage thing, where he mentions there'll be uh, indicators that pop up. No, there's no indicators. It was just some debug info on his
Ah,
on the build that he was playing.
okay, fantastic.
But there's no indicators. You'll know that you're getting hit with a rampage when you get hit back to back to back to back.
Great.
So
Glorious.
have fun.
Oh, I will. Hey, I haven't lost a campaign yet, so I look forward to actually getting that.
Oh, this we shall see.
I honestly, it is kind of, I am kind of getting a little nervous here because although by the point that this comes out, the episodes will be out, but I had attacked because I'm not sure if you saw, but the last episode I had attacked Mon Cala with my fleet, pretty much lost about half of them, and then I had those 2 Venators. Yeah, I only have 1 Venator left, and my heroes hovering over what is it, Renvar at the moment. It's pretty brutal. It's not it's not
And
cool.
isn't that like the entirety of the Black Sun fleet?
Just about. All I have left is Prince Zizor and his little ragtag group down by Geonosis, but there is I believe it's an Imperial fleet that I could take it if it attacks the space station, but if I go out and attack it, there's no way in hell that I can defeat it. It's gonna be a close one. Even if they attack me and I have the space station, it's gonna be a close one. So I'm waiting for that battle to happen. Unless maybe they're smart and just go around me. That'll be fantastic.
How are you still alive?
I like to chalk it up to pure luck and my stunning intelligence. That's what I wanna that's what I wanna put it up to. Oh gosh. My tactical capability is unmatched except fire a garden slug. But let's see here. Oh yeah, I think I already. Oh yeah, so something I added in here. So I watched. I think you had suggested it to me. Shaq's video about like your guys' interview, and or no, not your interview. He did like an overview of the mod, I should say, and he talked about how like the infantry squads have like an assortment of troops, such as like there's in the actual like squads themselves. Do they have like there's like little separate like groups like heavy gunners and riflemen and stuff? I guess how big of a part do they play? Like if like that variety in the groups rather than just having like I don't know like a group of riflemen or something.
So let's talk about base game just real quick, because that will kind of give you an idea of what's happened. So
Okay.
in the base game, it was just you got one type of troop. They all had the same weapon, and that led to basically one infantry type, and it sucked because you just built that one unit, you send it in mass, and you send it forward. In AOTR, like 2.7, 2.6, it turned into we had more infantry types, but the distinction was tier 2 is better than tier 1, tier 3 is better than tier 2, tier 4 is better than tier 3, blah 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 blah. To make things kind of more interesting, what we have to do is we have to make all unit types viable no matter what.
Okay.
And that was one of the bigger things, to where we were wondering of how are we going to do that. So first thing to do was to diversify squads. So you can have a squad that was like a suppression unit where they have a couple a couple heavy MGs in there, and then they have rifles that are there. But if a tank were to roll around that has good anti-infantry capability, that squad's not going to hold up.
No, they're dead.
So you need another squad that has, rocket launchers and stuff like that in there. And we have 2 types of rockets, dumbfire and smartfire. So if it's a moving target, the dumbfire rockets are going to have a harder time dealing with it than a smartfire rocket. But smartfire rockets, they have smaller warheads, but they're longer range. So there's a trade-off of which one you want there.
All right.
Other things such as infantry grenades. So different infantry can carry different grenade types that are useful against different targets. It's being switched up a little bit right now in the dev build, so I kind of don't remember how it is in the public build right now. But I think it's concussion grenades are anti-infantry. Thermal detonators are also anti-infantry, but they have a different effect. So there's a big play that's there. Then there's also an anti-vehicle grenade. I forget which one that is.
Okay. I can definitely tell you those concussion grenades, they do the trick against infantry.
Oh, very much so.
They are.
And Black Sun is full of them.
Oh, so good. If they hit, sometimes I'm wondering what's going through my soldiers' minds, but they got the spirit, so that's all that matters.
It's the thought that counts.
It's the thought that counts. And indeed. Let's see here. Oh yeah, also, so this is something that I guess I experienced, I think it was the second episode of my Let's Play. So at least just this one part, I know that AI has been, like, it feels smarter, like it feels like it's actually, like, really trying to kill me, or at least preserve its units so it can do that. But was it there was an instance where I was on Jakku, and there was the Imperials had it, and there was an Imperial Juggernaut tank there, but it would not. And I mean, I noticed this, and I was like, I'm like, damn it, it's actually going to make me work for it. It would not go towards my landing zone, because I had planned, like the terrible person I am, I had planned to, if I were able to lure it over, I could put all my troops down, and the ships would shoot at it, and at least do some damage, if not kill it. And no matter what I did, it would not move, and so I actually had to go for it. Was that kind of like a program thing, or was that just pathfinding for the Juggernaut? I guess that's just my main question. Was it actually trying to figure out what to do, or was it just kind of maybe stuck? I know that's kind of a very specific question, but just putting that out there, I guess.
So I'm going off of memory here from what that fight was like. So you already had kind of a working battle line of units, and your landing zone was behind those units, and you were trying to pull back to get the Juggernaut to go forward.
Just about, yeah. There was, and also I'd already killed most, if not, I think there was actually still a couple of infantry squads left, but yeah, it was just basically the Juggernaut and then my line of troops, and I was trying to lure it to the landing zone.
So in an instance like that, I think the Juggernaut, your units and the landing zone were still within the Juggernaut's combat capability range.
Oh,
so
okay.
The Juggernaut wouldn't have had to move forward. The other thing is the Juggernaut's directive, for the AI, is it's trying to protect its base. So if it is constantly pulling units too far from the base, they're gonna go, maybe we should pop back into the base.
Okay, all right. And I could see that because it would go around. There was like a little mound or whatever. It would go around it, and then it would just back up and be like, no, I'm good. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go head home. So, all right, that's kind of cool then. I like that. That was fun. I lost a lot of men killing that thing.
Well, it's because you didn't have. Well, you had the right equipment.
I didn't
the
use it
equipment
for
just wasn't in range.
Yeah, well, I know those. The ATA piece. Those things, they're so awesome now. Like, I know they were kind of cool beforehand because they had a good range, but they actually feel like powerful units now.
Well, that's again part of
Ground
a big part of design and making everything feel right.
Mm-hmm. They feel perfect. I will say the one thing I guess that irks me just a little bit, it bothers me every time, is the pirate skiffs. They seem, and I know they are kind of bigger anyways, but like they seem super what is it? Like ungainly, I guess I would call it. I don't know. They seem like they can't really turn well. I guess I don't know. I feel weird for like a hovercraft, I guess.
Ah,
I'm
well,
sorry.
what this has to do with is it's a conscious gameplay decision that was made to where hover vehicles in general, they have the highest top speed, but there's nothing like anchoring them to the ground so they can't stop on a dime.
Mhm.
So what this leads to is their acceleration and deceleration is really bad.
Oh,
So
okay.
with hover vehicles, when they kind of get into combat, they're somewhat committed because they're the hardest to pull out of all vehicle types. Tracked vehicles have like the lowest, I believe they're the lowest top speed, but because they are tracked, they are connected to the ground, so their acceleration and deceleration is pretty much instantaneous.
Okay. I can see that. All right. Damn
And
it. I'm gonna. All right.
walkers
Understand. I can
walk.
see that. And oh, and then what? Sorry, walkers walk, right?
Yep,
Okay.
and they
Yep, that
just
makes
kind of
sense. Yeah, makes sense to me. They walk. Um, let's see here. And I already talked about that. Oh yeah. So this is something, and actually, this is kind of funny. So I believe it was it not Ilum? I don't know which planet it was anymore, but there's like a planet that has like these like penguin people, and I'm gonna ask this question here, but yeah, so, and I think it's interesting. I like how they have it where whoever owns the planet, that's who they like, because that's what they might survive with. I guess, what is the extent? Because I don't like, for me, I guess I kind of want to figure out on myself, but like, what is the extent to the militias on the various planets? Like, how different will their interactions be? Because that one right there is actually kind of interesting to me. It actually helped me uh, beat the planet while I was being attacked, and actually having them on my side, because initially they were against me. That really helped, and I thought that was kind of cool. But I don't know, what's the extent to like militias helping out the player, or like not helping, or the
well,
factions, I should say.
there are a few different planets where that rule applies, where the militia will help out whoever owns the planet. And that just has to do with, we like shaking up a little bit. So, let's say Bespin is if that's, everybody thinks that's always going to be a rebel friendly planet.
Mm-hmm.
So if, rebels do a raid and all of a sudden the civilians are against them, that's like, what? They were with me in the last battle kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it adds some switch up, and it can make some planets feel more defensible.
Mm-hmm.
But as it comes to the general extent of civilian loyalty, I can't really say much for now because nothing's really officially planned yet.
Yeah.
But I'm wanting to have loyalty tie into a couple other different things.
Okay. And I guess actually too, that because I know was it Fall of the Republic? I'm pretty sure you're aware of that. Was it with Corey? Is it Losses or Loses? How do you pronounce his is that his name? Corey Losses.
Corey loses.
Loses? Okay. I don't know. And so yeah, he's got kind of a loyalty system going on with that mod. Is that what you're kind of looking at to do, or your own thing?
Well, right now nothing is really planned, so
Okay.
I can't really give a yes or no answer. It's just like it's in, kind of written down on a napkin format.
Kind of like a content leak a little bit, right? Maybe
Right.
poking in there. All right. That's kind of cool. Let's see here. And I mean, I guess straight up questions, we're at the end here. I've got like this last one. I guess for like every update, and I do notice this, and it's actually gotten so much better since when I played. I think it was 2.7 was a pretty oof version for at least frame rate wise. How do you guys, I guess, increase like the frame rates? I know you don't really, maybe it maybe doesn't happen like purposefully, but I don't know. Is it purposeful? I guess. How do you guys help frame rates?
Accidental optimization.
Yeah, accidental optimization. Is that kind of
Um, So when it comes to a lot of optimization pieces, I'm not the best person to talk to, but just to kind of give like a general rundown,
Hmm.
it can be from like, lowering texture resolutions or having LODs on certain units.
And what
Or
just for me too, I guess. What is an LOD?
that's like, I think it stands for load on over distance, but don't quote me on that
Okay,
because, like I
okay,
said, way outside of my area of expertise.
that's all
But
right.
it's like if you aren't zoomed in on something,
Okay,
then it's not loading like the full model with all of its
is
details.
mhm. Is that when
And
I sorry, is that when I zoom out and I can see like they're still there, but it turns kind of like to like a 2D kind of pixel kind of thing? Is that kind of what we're
yeah,
going for? Okay,
that's, that's essentially what that
I
is.
can see. Okay, all right.
We need that on more units.
Yes, yeah. Hey, I mean, it is the frames are they're going up every time. I guess I know that's it's um maybe not necessarily the end goal, but yeah, it's noticeable. It still works though, so that's cool.
Well, the other thing has to do with the less the AI needs to do, the
Mm,
less it lags.
that's true too.
So that was, I know, a really 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 big piece.
That is when I did when I played Republic at War as the CIS or whatever. That's like the the older. It's not Fall of the Republic, but that older one. It's a really I love the mod. It's a really fun one. I think it's actually like really good. But the frame rates because that's like well that's part of what you're saying is when the AI is moving troops and doing all these different things, yeah, it definitely lags the game. And there was a point in that for about I don't know about 15 episodes where I was getting maybe in the big galactic map maybe like 5 frames. It was just fantastic. So it's
Just it's like watching a projector
yeah,
slideshow.
I know. Well, it's easy to get screenshots then. You don't have to really worry about them going away anytime soon. Um, the actual like I guess the battles were fine, but anyways, yeah, so that's I guess that's what I have for like general questions. I guess is there anything else that I should know? I guess I don't know. I know it's up to me to have the questions, but anything about that?
As like general kind of PSA stuff
Yeah.
is join our Discord. There's a lot of people that aren't on our Discord. I'll DM you a link when we're done. Um, But if you're trying to stay caught up on AOTR news, that's going to be the best place to go because even now I've been forgetting to update my DB, which is the
Is
general trend of whoever is in charge of ModDB
okay.
is we forget to update it a lot.
Do you guys so is the mod still available on ModDB or is there just versions of the mod on ModDB? Or is it both, I
It
guess, on Steam as well?
2.6 is the only version of the mod that is on mod or 2.6 is the most recent version of the mod on ModDB, and there is issues with 2.7 and forward. Basically, what will happen is if we put it up on ModDB, we know that there's going to be an influx of, oh, I can't save the game. Why does it crash all the time? And that's because there was a patch for the Steam version and the Steam version exclusively
Okay.
that increased stability.
All right. Understood. Okay. Cool. Um, yeah, so I guess that's all I got. Thank you for doing this. That's gonna be awesome. I was thinking about doing a because I was told my editor I was gonna give her um, 2 articles tomorrow, but I think I'm just gonna make one on this because it was really good and not that I was not expecting to be good, but I appreciate it. Thank you.
Hey, you're welcome, bro.